Do you want to explain to everybody what you're doing here? Or do you want me to leave you alone for now?
Oh, I'm working on a 34 Chev Clip that a guy brought in. And he wants us to get rid of all this trash that somebody put in here. I mean, look at this. Here's the YouTube subscribers. Look at this kind of weld. Look at this. It almost looks like it was a stick welder, or it was a welder with no gas. Somebody put a, well, the car is obviously backyard built. Somebody built this at home in their backyard. And believe it or not, I took it out for a drive and it actually drove really good. You can see, look how they put all these rubber spacers in between the coils.
Yeah, to get them, because the arch, see how the arch is over?
You know, I just, yeah, just a mess here. You can see up here all the welds and rust, all the rust through there. But we'll come back in a minute. We got a customer here and we'll show you some more on this.
Okay, we're done with the pesky customers.
Done with customers. So we're going to give you guys a quick look at what's going on. This customer, he brought this car into me. He actually got hold of me last year, and I put him on the list. I put him on the waiting list and brought him in. And what he wants to do is, obviously, he wants to get rid of this crappy ass thing. Look at this. This is what we were showing you guys before the customer came in. Look how someone welded this clip in, but look at all this rust. I mean, I shouldn't say it's not a huge deal, but it's only holding up the brake line. It has nothing to do with the suspension, but still. Why would you leave something like that? Wouldn't you cut that off and fix that and make it look a little nicer? But I guess they didn't care because this car is full fendered. But I mean, you know,
just put some texture spray over it. It's fine.
That's right. I mean, look at here's your dampening shock. Look at the big rust holes through it. Look at the gobs of the weld here.
Hang on a second, I couldn't get in there. All right, there.
Yeah, look at the rust. Look at the gobs of the weld.
There. The gobs of the welds.
Everywhere. And then what they did was they decided to mount the engine in here. So they made a bracket. They hard mounted it. Right here it had one bolt here and one bolt here. So there's no movement to this motor. It isn't going nowhere. And then they cut this halfway through this thing.
Oh yeah, for the steering column.
For the steering. What they put there.
Yeah.
I mean, this is quite the mess right here. So anyway, as I was saying, the customer brought in, he booked it in with me because he wants to put a he wants to get rid of this ugly suspension on the front. We're going to put a Mustang 2 clip in it, and which will be a lot nicer than this. And we're going to pull the engine. The engine was sitting right against the firewall. So I moved the engine forward 1 inch. You couldn't get the back wires off the distributor cap. So I moved the engine forward 1 inch so he could actually get in there. And what he's done is he has had a brand new engine built here in town at our machine shop, Fortin's. If anyone out in the Fraser Valley, you go to Fortin's, you ask for Norm, tell him Rick at Old Time Garage, mentioned him, he's a good guy. He built him a 383 stroker, and I know some people always say, oh, you're saying that, but again, I will show you the paperwork like I do in other ones on the video. It dynoed out at 601 horsepower. So he's putting a 383 stroker of 600 horse in this thing. So I'm boxing the frame. Luckily, this frame is a really good solid frame, despite the mess of welds, and it's got a huge X member under it. So I'm boxing the frame, I'm putting better engine brackets and mounts in that I'm welding in myself now and getting rid of this mess in the front. So he's going to go a 383 stroker, 600 horse with a turbo 350.
Yeah, you've got one mounted on that side already.
Yeah, there's one sitting there right now. You know, it's in there, it ain't going nowhere. I put holes through it so he can run his fuel lines through this and then come up. Rather than have them lay on top or under here, I prefer to run them inside. So, yeah, so turbo 350, 600 horse engine. He's got a brand new differential standing in the corner over there. I don't know exactly what it is yet. He brought it, he dropped it off. I got to put it together, so I got to put a diff in it. And then I was looking at it. I don't exactly know what this is out of. It is set up for the disc brakes, but I'm going to eliminate this. I'm going to talk to him and say, look, we can't be using this because it's a single reservoir master. We should have a dual reservoir. The steering column is out of some bloody late 80s Chevy pickup. He's not too happy with it anyway, and it sits way up in his way, so I think we'll get rid of that. You know, I mean, you can see, look at all the holes on the frame, factory. I mean, back
was that factory?
Well, some of them are, yeah. A lot of these wouldn't have mattered back then because this car probably would have only had a 6-cylinder in it. And with a huge heavy frame with a 6, it would have never broke. But putting this kind of power that he's going to put in it, we got to weld all this shit up.
Is that what you were doing when I came in here? welding the hole on the other
boxing
side?
the frame on
Oh,
the
boxing
inside.
the frame.
The
Okay.
frame's getting all boxed up here, see?
Oh, yes.
Boxing it up. And I'm making sure that I'm actually putting a few nut inserts. I'm welding some nuts in there in the odd place, just in case you ever want to mount something. Doesn't hurt to have a few nuts welded in. You know, you never know, you might want to run a ground wire off it, or maybe you want to tie the brake lines up to it. You got some, you know, you're not just using a sheet metal screw into there. So I'm doing that. So this engine right now was in the car when it came here. It drove in, it ran pretty good, but I'm just kind of using it for the mock-up situation right now. Then I'll pull it out in the end. No point taking it out yet. So yeah, I'm going to finish boxing up to here, where I'm going. Then I'm going to get my new cross member. I'm going to try and hold it up here, make sure it's going to fit, because they don't exactly make one for this model of this Chevy. Make sure it's going to work, and then I'm going to start cutting all this shit out, put the new one in. Now I'm going to finish boxing the frame. And then obviously this will be gone, because the engine will now have its side mounts. So that's where we're going there. And that's what's going on with this car. It's a little 3-window coupe, 34 Chev. It'll be a fun little car. We'll take care of the mechanical this year. And then we will do the body and paint possibly a year from now. I just don't have time for it right now. So that's what's going on there, and that's it. So remember, it's always a good time at old time. We'll see you next time, and we'll keep you in tune with what's going on with this one. See you later.